Hello and welcome to tonight's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the LCK and LCS series from today and then preview the LCK and LCS playoff series for tomorrow. Usually the LCS series do not get done before this video is complete, but it worked out today. So predictions, I went 1-1. In the LCK, T1 would beat KT 3-2. So all the T1 haters have to eat shit because T1 are in a good spot. Zeus was MVP. Gumayusi 23, 11, 19, 28% of damage. Keria 3, 12, 51. So the bot lane went 26, 23, and 70. So not a great KDA, but did deal the most damage. Aiming 28, 27, 29% of damage in the loss. Definitely a back and forth affair, hence 5 games. A lot being decided in top lane. I thought in game 1, Keen was the difference maker on Gragas, solo killing Zeus at one point, which I thought was interesting because before I had actually watched back all the highlights, I got a comment, well, not the highlights, but the VOD, that, Keen had been just destroyed by Zeus in this series, but, I mean, I don't see somebody being solo killed as destroying the person who killed him, but sure, I mean, in the entire series, Zeus was MVP, but I didn't feel like it was because he dumpstered Keen. T1 played towards Zeus, got Zeus ahead of Keen by using jungle proximity throughout this entire damn series, and it worked out. And that's going to happen. Now, so game 1, between Gragas and DiStefano for BDD, it was just a wrap. Zeri for aiming. I mean, it was a very one-sided affair, but T1 would respond. Game 2, Zeus coming through big on the Rumble, leading the team in damage. He and Gumayusi being the difference makers. Honestly, looking excellent. Faker, very good throughout the series. He had some real pop-off moments on Nico and Azir. I thought that even in game 4, game 4, Guma even had some nice moments in the loss. I think that was the game he played Samira. KT would find a way to win. The thing is with this one, aiming, when I look at this entire series, he looked off. Now, the KDA is good. He led the team in damage, but he was just missing skill shots all over the place. Very questionable decision-making. The Zeri didn't look great. Neither did the Ezreal or the Draven in Game 5. And it was just like, what is really going on here? Definitely not the aiming from the regular season, but you also have to remember, has he been in a moment this big in his career? He's not a young player, but I don't think he's had many big series like this, especially going to a Game 5 against T1. As far as mid lane's concerned, it went back and forth. I thought, like I said, Faker played team fights better than BDD, but BDD on DiStefano was disgusting. I say it all the time, DiStefano mid is OP as hell. Jungle, Owner over Cuz, I mean, both kind of did their thing throughout this series, Owner being the better of the two. Keria had some really nice plays, in my opinion, on the Nautilus, especially the Nautilus game really sticks out to me. I think he set the tone in that one with a great hook off the rip. Rakan, he had some great, even I don't remember if the Rakan game was a win or a loss, but he had some, like, really crazy escapes with Rakan. I thought T1 just, and won 5 games. The games that KT won, it was because Keen and BDD really did some serious work. And then when T1 won, it was because of Zeus being a difference maker. Even in their losses, Zeus looked pretty good. And, Guma and Keria getting work done in the 2v2 and in team fights. So, I mean, it's not a big surprise. A lot of people, I mean, I picked KT to win this. I won't lie, I picked KT to win this. And I thought that the day after T1 beat D+, KT would be prepared, and KT weren't. A lot of people had written T1 off because they lost so many series, but it was with Poby, and I think people are now should be realizing how big of a deal Faker is for this team. And not only that, when we think back, I think KT had went 4-0 against T1, if I think of the sneak peek yesterday. And, this is a very different look, right? This is a very different result. Not as awesome of a playoff matchup as Spring. The Spring T1 KT series was a real gem. But this, I mean, was close, right? LCS, Team Liquid, EG. Team Liquid would win 3-1. I did pick TL to win this one. So APA 10-6-30, 29% of damage. Pioshik 15-5-36, best KDA. Jojo Pune 10-13-11, 32% of damage in the loss. I'm struggling. I want to pick Pioshik as MVP. I think I'm going to. So Summit just like smoked Revenge in top lane. But a lot of that had to do with Pioshik. Pioshik going topside, making things happen. Game 1, when they won, his Rel had 100% KP through 19 kills. Team Liquid in this series, not only like throughout the split, TL would get early leads often and throw games. Like that was something that they would do. And in this one, they got leads and then just ended the game before 25 minutes. I think in 2 of their 3 wins, it was like before 25 minutes. Like this was a clean 4 games out of TL, the cleanest they've played all year. They're playing different stuff. They're playing Tristana Taric bot lane. It works in theory, but no one else is really playing it, right? So it's definitely something that's their own spin. Pioshik on the Rel, like I said, was excellent. And then in Game 4 on the Viego was awesome. APA, dealing a lot of damage. Maybe not the greatest KDA, but his Ziggs, his Cassiopeia, he was doing well. Like I said, Summit deserved a possible MVP. I thought he and his K'Sante 1v3, outplayed a dive exceptionally. Really took it to Revenge. In a matchup that I highlighted yesterday because EG and TL went 1-1 against each other, or even maybe EG went 2-0. And Revenge had the most damage outside of mid lane for EG. And so we compared the matchups, and it's like, well, Summit also led TL in damage in those games, but died a lot. And in this series, he may not be on the board because he didn't have the best KDA or the most damage, but Summit gapped him. Shaden in the jungle didn't look awesome either. But, EG went 12-6. They're not going to Worlds. Right? I think they're not going to Worlds now. I think that's done. That dream is dead. But they played better in summer than anyone could have expected after the roster changes, right? This is a result that nobody had expected. And it comes down to the top side. That was the difference. Preview for tomorrow, LCK, HLE Gen G. They've played 4 times this year. Gen G winning all 4. I was able to break down all the matchups here. So, in top side, we have Kingin, who went 9-16-15, 21% of damage. Doran, 16-9-33, 28% of damage. So, a big difference there, not only in probably DPM, but in share. Gen G's top side dealing more damage than the mid lane, whereas HLE is the opposite. 7-18-21, 15% of damage for Grizzly. Peanut, 5-7-44, 12% of damage. So both facilitator oriented. Grizzly with a little bit more of the share. In the mid lane, Zeka, 11-13-14, 27%. Chovy, 21-9-26, 23%. So I want to look at this for a second. So Doran, 28% of damage, King 21. We're seeing that the top side of the rift for Gen G dealing more damage. But in the mid-jungle duo, HLE has more impact, right, relative to their team. Now, when you look at DPM, I think the numbers are actually not that far off. And so in the end, it's pretty even. But HLEs were more important in their 4 losses than topside. So we're really identifying that topside was the difference in these 4 losses. Bot lane, the KDAs are very different, but the damage share is the same. Viper and Life went 14 kills, 35 deaths, 42 assists. Pays and Delight, 39, 16, and 88. Like I said, both 37% of damage. So, really, the difference is in the damage distribution, like I said, is the solos. And, this series was 4-0 going into it, right? On the split. KT up 4-0 against T1. Don't, rule out HLE in this one. Viper is one of the best AD carries in the world. Zeka was one of the best mid laners in the world and the best at Worlds last year. They've been in big moments. Their backs against the wall. Kingin as well. Really, though, that jungle matchup is the one that I'm watching because Grizzly sucked into Krakow, in my opinion, in their 3-0 against DRX. I thought they won despite Grizzly. So I could see Peanut just gapping Grizzly in this one. LCS, Dignitas, Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians are 2-0 against Dig. However, the supports did change for Dignitas, and it's only 2-game series, so we're only citing one matchup. Stixay led the way for Golden Guardians, going 12-1-16, 32% of damage. Tomo, 3-7-9, 20% of damage and loss. So very big different damage share, right? Stixay was the carry for Golden Guardians. Tomo, not so much, because Jensen deals a lot of the damage for Dignitas as they play, those compositions like where they have scaling mids and play till 35 minutes, see what happens. Also, Rich does deal quite a bit of damage in top lane. River dealing a lot of damage for Golden Guardians. This matchup is definitely going to be an interesting one, I guess. So that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. Hope to see you again tomorrow.